Wolves travel in packs, and when a wolf is kicked out of a pack, that wolf is known as an omega. On a rare instance, an omega can go out and find other omegas like itself and form a new pack. But this pack is often not taken seriously by other packs since it's considered a pack of losers. So this pack of omegas literally has to be the strongest pack in order to survive because they often face ridicule so much. I'm not talking about wolves. I'm talking about people. Welcome back everybody to the Art of Selling Anything. My name is Spy King, and if you're new here, I show my community how to sell any and everything they can imagine, and you can be a part of the community. Just click that subscribe button and let me know what you'd like for me to break down in the comment section. Let me tell you a story. In 2021, after I finished high school, I went on the run because I had just recently scammed half of my class. And if you didn't see that video, go check it out. I explain everything. So I went to go live with my mother. Living with my mother, I was under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. So I started using drugs. And then I formed a new group of friends. Now I was exposed to my mother's side, where they didn't know that I used drugs, and this new group of friends who knew that I did drugs. So I was exposed to two different environments, and I had the pleasure of learning from both of these environments because the way they talk is different. And I thought this could be a good video idea for the day because somebody asked me to tell them how they can stop using drugs. I'll get to that, but I think we have to do this before we get there. So being exposed to these two different groups, I had to learn to speak differently. But other than learning to speak differently, I learned how they talk. And I found out something very interesting. People who don't use drugs can learn a lot from people that do. Because there are three factors to a conversation. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. What is a conversation at first? A conversation is an oral dialogue or an exchange of ideas. Okay, so that's when you're having a conversation. It's when you're talking to someone. The three factors of a conversation I like to consider. It's the legitimacy of the conversation. That means the ideas exchanged there. Are they good or bad ideas? And then there's emotion behind that conversation. How are people feeling in that? And then there's the transparency in the conversation. How do people show themselves? Are they transparent to how they feel exactly? Or do they lie? Okay, let me tell you from a user's perspective. From the people who use drugs. Those who are ridiculed by the community. Because they face so much ridicule, they have to be real because the people they're exposed to are also facing the same ridicule from the community. So they know their pain. So the emotion there is always fierce. It's always real. The energy is always amazing. You get there and you smile all the time because people there are never fake. They never hiding their true emotion because who are they hiding it from? Everybody there is feeling exactly the same thing. But when you go to a conversation with people who don't use drugs, you often find that they're not always transparent about how they feel. They have so many different emotions, and because they're trying to be accepted by the community, which people who do drugs don't care about anymore, they hide their true selves, and that reflects in the conversation because you feel the emotion. It's not the same. You can feel that there's something that they're not saying, something they're not getting out of their chest. And then there's the legitimacy of the ideas. I found something interesting. People who use drugs have bad ideas. They have the worst ideas. They just sit there and they make split-second decisions. They don't even think twice about it, which is something people who don't do drugs often don't do. I didn't say they don't do it at all. I said they often don't do it. They often think through their decisions. So before they spend money, they'll think hard about it. They'll sit down and say, okay, if I spend this amount of money, how much will I have after that? People who use drugs, oh man, I'll discover something insane. They don't think about it. They just get up and they go do something. They make split-second decisions. So that's my analysis from looking at people who do drugs and those who don't do drugs. In a conversation, they're both different. And I feel like both groups of people can learn so much from the other. Personally, I'd say don't do drugs. But if you already are doing drugs, you've probably felt what I'm talking about. It's this emotion that keeps you doing the drugs. It keeps you with those friends that you're always around. But that emotion is fleeting. And the bad ideas just keep getting made. At some point, that will rapture. And that will blow up in your face. I'm not saying stop. I'm just saying analyze the legitimacy of your ideas. I wasn't here to tell you to do or stop drugs. I was just here to give you an honest perspective of a user and a non-user, because I've been both. Currently, I still do marijuana. It's not as frequent as it used to be before, but I still do it. And I still do have friends who use and don't use, and I still feel this every day in my conversations. I hope this clears the air for anybody who wasn't sure how people who use drugs feel like, or somebody who has used them so much they forgot how people who don't feel like. My name is King, y'all, and if you enjoyed this video, do drop a thumbs up. I'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to comment and don't forget to subscribe. My name is King. Peace.